Hello, friends, and welcome back to r/IDontWorkHereLady. Another day has come, which means we have 3 more stories about crazy people waiting for us. And the first of them. You effed up, honey. Honestly, I would have thought I worked there too. I used to work there. There, in this case, being a women's retail store in a tourist section of New York City. I'd retained quite a lot of the employee habits. They effed up this sweater pile, these GD animals. Let me just fix this real quick. Not to mention the wardrobe. So as much as it's possible to look like I work here, I probably did. So the problem wasn't being mistaken for working here. The problem was that the ones doing the mistaking were effing B-words stinking of middle-aged, disappointed beauty queen hairspray and racism. I was browsing not far from them when an employee approached and asked if they needed any help finding anything. They asked for a shirt in a size small. Employee went to the back to check. I was browsing, fancy as F candles, yawn, whatever. Then I start overhearing them since they aren't exactly being quiet with their conversation. They were complaining about the employee. An employee that they've shared exactly 40 seconds of conversation with. Her hair, they agree, is disgusting. How could a professional company allow one of their employees to walk around with hair like that? The employee, it's worth noting, is a gorgeous black girl who's wearing her hair natural. They just can't get over it. They're literally working themselves into a frenzy about it, how it shows a lack of self-respect, how it shows that she doesn't respect them, how it's aggressive. How really her working there at all reflects badly on the brand. Someone like that is not how I would want my clothes represented. By the time she gets back, they've decided that this girl is basically a Black Panther and hates them. Which she probably doesn't, but I certainly do. They don't have the shirt in the back in that size, but if they want, they can order it for them. No? Okay. Is there anything else I can do for you today? All right, well, have a great day. Enter me. The ladies, having been told no, are clearly not going to stand for that. I, who've been listening to them talk for 2 minutes, want them to be eaten by bears. The other employee had barely left before they walk up to me. Do you have the shirt in a small? We asked the other girl, but I don't think she really checked. The smug self-satisfaction of someone who refuses to have a fast one pulled on her is coming off of her in waves as her dumb but hype woman friend nods along in emphatic agreement and punctuates it with, "Oh, she definitely didn't check." Okay, B-word, I'll show you not checking. I totally understand. I'll just check the backstock and be right back. So I leave the sales floor and dump the shirt back on the rack they got it from and go back to browsing. I figure at that point they'll have some tourist crap to do and get bored and leave, bitter and unfulfilled. I underestimated the vindictiveness of scorned Southern soccer moms. It's probably about 15 minutes before my loop brings me back to the area where they were, and to my surprise, they were still there, clearly waiting. Sitting on the husband couch and looking murderous. We really need to go. We have tickets to a show. She says this like she's going to the Met to see Pagliacci. Her friend didn't get the memo that they were being cultured that day and pipes up, "We're seeing the Rockettes." How fun. If you're effing 9, I'm just going to check one more place. I'll be right back. At this point, I'm starting to wonder how long I can stretch this out. It wasn't my intention. I hadn't planned on it, but I had about 40 minutes of lunch left. Let's do it. I swung by every 10 minutes, swearing I was just going to check one more place, just one more thing. They could have left at any time. They could have asked someone else. Hell, I saw the original girl that helped them go up to see if they were being helped. The hate in their hearts was too heavy. It pinned them to the husband couch as I effed them around for 30 minutes. They were determined to be right in placing their trust in me and not her, that they would get that shirt and we'd all join the storm front together and live happily ever after. We're getting down to the wire now. I have to get back to work. My time with them is coming to an end. Also, I never bought that fancy as F candle, so I go back to grab it. I'm halfway there when, miracle of miracles, I hear the enraged squawk of, "That's her right there!" And the two come dragging up one of my old managers. I only worked for this woman for about a month, a year back at this point. I could tell she recognized me and knows that she did, at one point, have the authority to tell me to fold some effing sweaters to standard, but that time has passed. You don't work here, do you? No. This lady says you were helping her. I don't work here. I'm buying a candle. I'll give them this. They were quicker on the uptake than most I don't work here idiots. They didn't try to insist I did. They understood the words, "she doesn't work here" just fine, but those words filled them with rage. The friend looked like she was going to explode and turned on her master, complaining to the alpha that they missed the beginning of the Rockettes for nothing. The alpha had turned bright red and literally couldn't speak. The manager's mother didn't raise no fool, so she disappeared into the sale room after a quick, "if you guys don't need anything else." The alpha, having stared into the abyss and lost her damn mind, puts on her nicest, sweetest, F you, bless your heart voice and starts repeating that she's gonna get me fired. Oh, honey, where do I work? I effed up. Don't know who I was messing with, and she's gonna get me fired. What store do you work at? My husband's a lawyer, and her husband's a policeman. I'm gonna sue you. I'm gonna get you fired. You effed up, honey. So she followed me to the line, stood there demanding to know where I work, furiously working her cell phone, texting her lawyer husband, presumably, or maybe getting her friend's husband to put out an arrest warrant for me in the state of Georgia. They followed me across the street into a very big building with lots and lots of security. Aren't you missing the Rockettes, lady? She tried to follow me through the very heavy security that you need to swipe an ID into, insisting all the while that I don't work there, that I'm a liar, which, is, given the circumstances, was pretty fair, but I do work there, which is why they gave me an ID. She doesn't succeed in this, and again, it's a very heavy security building. They definitely do not appreciate someone trying to push past the very serious security gates while harassing one of the employees and politely suggest she F off forever. I hope that B-word never got to see the Rockettes. And we're going to have to see the second story. Well, I had to call the cops. Ugh. Hey, everyone. I got a great one for you from yesterday. Half of my coworkers got stuck at a conference because of the hurricane, so the rest of us have been working ridiculous shifts to cover. Don't mind the overtime, and it couldn't be helped, so it is what it is. Yesterday, I worked 12 hours after having worked 12 the 2 days before and knowing I'd have another 12 today. Last one. Yay. Honestly, it wasn't that horrible. But yeah, I was tired, which is why I did what I did in this story. I changed out of my work shirt before I even left the building, so I was wearing jeans and a tie-dye t-shirt when I wandered like a zombie into a fast food place to get something to eat. I get my food and kind of tuck myself into a corner to eat. At one point, I hear a bit of commotion, but I ignore it. As I get up and throw out my trash, I hear an old man say, "Her! She should be fired!" Oh man, crap's going down, and I'm nibby, so I look over. The guy's pointing at me with this super angry look on his face. I look behind me. No one. Oh man, he's definitely pointing at me. He starts yelling about when he was here yesterday and how rude the cashier was, and I messed up his order. I'm half awake and confused, and I looked at the manager like, "What the F?" And he gave me the scared, apologetic, I have no idea look. Old guy's still ranting when the manager says, "Sir, I'd love to help you get this fixed, but she doesn't work here. I can help you figure out who it was, but it wasn't her." And as this sub always goes, old guy didn't listen. "No, I know it was her. I wouldn't forget that nasty face." Okay, now I'm awake and increasingly getting angrier. "Well, you apparently did because I seriously don't work here and never have." Dude's not worth my time. I give the manager a have fun with this one look and start heading for the door. This effer threw a chair at me. A chair! Didn't hit me, but he sure did try. It got a bit fuzzy with everything going on at once, but the manager grabbed him so fast, put him in a bear hug, and walked him to the door saying, "That's it, you're out of here, and if you ever come back again, I'm calling the cops." That's if this lady doesn't do so first for you trying to assault her with a chair. Old guy said something like, "She turned her back to me, now let me go." Manager responded with something like, "That's not how this works," or something like it. I said it was fast, and I was still a bit out of it. Props to the manager, by the way. He got that crazy away from me, his actual employees, and the other customers, including a few children, in a matter of seconds. He pushed him out, still screaming, and held the door shut. Offered me all the free food in the world and told me he'd happily help me press charges. Had he left, I honestly might not have, but he was still yelling, banging on the door, so we basically had to do that just to get him to leave. So we call the cops to remove him. While we're waiting, the manager mentions the cameras and sends back someone to pull it up so the cops can see it. Cops get there, get the old guy in handcuffs, and start asking what happened. Old guy lied through his teeth, said I threw a chair and the manager assaulted him and lied about being my boss. Easy as crap to prove otherwise with the cameras. So he's in jail now for a list of charges. After one cop leaves with the old guy, another stays to get statements and all that. For a giggle, they also looked to try to figure out what cashier was apparently so horrible. There were only guys working the entire day. They couldn't even find the old guy. They're not sure he even came in. As I was finally leaving, the cop looked at me and innocently asked, "You sure you don't work here?" Dude, I don't know why, but I lost my crap laughing. Asked if he wanted me to show him how to teach a chair to fly, and then he lost his crap laughing. And a final short story to end this. Fired from a casino. I was playing a roulette dealer in a movie being shot in a casino in Vegas, did my scenes, and stayed to watch the next scene with Ed Asner at the craps table. The pit boss came up to me and started yelling at me, "You know the rules. You're either at your table or you're in the break area. Turn in your time card. You're fired." This attracted the attention of the film crew, who started laughing, which made him go ballistic. He was just about frothing at the mouth when I told him, "I don't think you can fire me. I'm an actor on this movie." That really took the wind out of his sails, and he slunk off. The crew thought it was the best thing ever, though, and told me I made their day. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next video.